Hello? Is anyone there? Girlies, I'm nervous. This is okay, I'm so sorry. This is supposed to be like a calm podcast, and I just screamed in the first 5 seconds. Okay, so no one's here yet probably because it's brand new. So hello air, hello oxygen. I'm here to entertain. Wait, what should my first words be on this channel? Let's just pretend I haven't spoken yet. Regina, mama loves you. Oh, that was such a meaningful choice. I'm so happy about that. Welcome to my brand new channel called, wait, what's it called? I just forgot I'm glitching. Timmy Tries to Talk. Yes, so this is basically a commentary podcast style channel where me, Timmy, I try to talk about whatever I want to, whatever I feel like. Now, I'm very into movies, very into pop culture, music, so I might talk about those things, or who knows, I might talk about something completely different. Let me know what you want to see, because this channel could take so many turns. Right now, it's a blank canvas, like my big bald head, even though I do have some prickly hairs on it, so it's not totally blank. Can you tell I'm nervous? It's fine. In this first episode, I'm gonna be retelling the movie Twilight through my own 31-year-old, half Cuban, bald-headed man perspective. Okay, it's gonna be a whole different take, and I'm really excited about it. I watched the movie last night. I took tons of notes, so if you see me on my phone, this is not scripted. I'm literally just going through plot points that I wanna hit, because Twilight is a masterpiece. It's a pop culture phenomenon that deserves perfection from people that are discussing it. You know, I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to get bit, you know, because that's a possibility. Before we start, I did want to say a couple things that I wrote down here, okay? If you haven't seen the movie, it does not matter. I'm going to explain everything, so you'll literally be watching it through my vocal cords, which are apparently very woman-like, so it might sound extra soothing for you. I think this is fate. I think I meant to do this, and that's why I was born with this curse of a voice. No, I love my voice. I do, even though everyone mocks it. What else I want to say? Oh, this channel is going to have minimal edits. Okay, I'm not going to do a big production. This is more of a relaxed moment. So grab a cup of tea if you're British, or grab a cup of coffee if you're stressed. Basically, I have a stutter. I was born this way. Now I have gone to speech therapy and it's gotten a lot better. And also when I'm relaxed and talking to just my girlies, I don't stutter that much. It's mostly in anxious situations or if I'm talking to a stranger. So if I do stutter and there's a pause in the video, that just means that Twilight, like the VHS got stuck. Okay. And I do like to sometimes keep my stutters in for representation purposes. You know, if a stutterer is watching me, I want them to say, oh my gosh. See, I'm getting stuck a little bit. He can't talk either. Okay, I'm normal. I love that. And on that topic, that's literally what my channel is named after. It's like a joke about my stutter. Timmy Tries to Talk, okay? Timmy Gets Stuck was another option, but it sounds like I got stuck in a cave or a well, and it didn't make total sense. Before we start talking about the movie, I just need to say this. Like and subscribe for the first time, okay? This is a brand new channel, so your support will mean the world to me. And I want some feedback. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Let me know if you enjoyed this retelling more than the actual movie. That's probably going to be the case, not to toot my own horn, but oh, I would have added like a fart sound effect, but I'm not really editing this that much. So just imagine that I let out a huge wet one. Okay. Wow. What a start. Okay. Let's get comfortable. Okay. I think I'll stay like this. Twilight is a movie that a lot of people hate, you know. I personally love it, but I can see that it's bad, technically. From the acting, to the cinematography, to the directing, to the lighting, to the sound, to the VFX, to the set design, to the clothing department, to Bella's constant use of headbands. It is not seen as a masterpiece, but I truly think that all of those terrible things come together and create something so special. And I really think that Twilight was snubbed at the Oscars that year. People didn't appreciate it just because it was horrible. You know what I mean? Let us begin the retelling. Are you excited, Regina? She can't talk either, so she really fits the brand of this channel. The movie starts with a deer, and you might be thinking, is this Bambi live action? No, it's Twilight. And you see this deer, it looks peaceful, it looks happy. All of a sudden, it starts getting chased. And the gag is, you're the person doing the chasing. The camera is a POV. And let me tell you, I've never been into hunting, but this scene was still exhilarating for me. I was really immersed and I wanted to catch the deer. I did. So the deer is running and running, and all of a sudden you see who you're playing. And it's just a random person in an outfit that looks like it's from the Old Navy, and it does catch the deer. And then the movie goes to black and it says Twilight. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Then we meet Bella, the main character of this movie. Now, you might think, is Bella okay? Does Bella have lack of oxygen? Why is she blue? She's actually totally fine. There's just a blue filter on the whole movie, and it's literally in every scene, on every character, everything is blue. This was Avatar before Avatar. James Cameron saw this movie and he said, I have an idea. Bella is played by Kristen Stewart. Some people call her K-Stew, but I think that makes her sound like a soup. Bella was living with her mom in Arizona, literally surrounded by cactuses. When it shows Bella in her one Arizona scene, she has probably like 5 cactuses behind her. I know that's a big stereotype when it comes to those desert type states, but it's probably true, right? People that live in Arizona, let me know. Are you surrounded by cactuses 24/7? So Bella is actually moving from Arizona because Bella's mom and her new stepzaddy are going on the road, whatever that means. Maybe they're in a band. So Bella has to go live with her real zaddy, Charlie, in Forks, Washington. Now, Bella is real nervous about this. She's not that close to her dad. She hasn't been to Forks, Washington in a long time. It's been so long that Bella forgot why the town was even called Forks in the first place. Probably because Spoons was taken by a little town in Florida. I have visited and they kept trying to scoop me up. It was a bizarre experience. So there's like a little traveling montage. We see some stock footage of a plane taking off, and then all of a sudden we see tons of trees, and we are in Forks. And it just kind of cuts to Bella in the car with her dad. We don't see them saying hi. It was probably too awkward to capture. So we just skip to them kind of like making small talk. And Charlie, who's her papa, seems like a nice man. He has kind eyes, but I really think that he despises Bella because I really feel like he was a bachelor in Forks. He has a big old house. It looks very manly. He probably has a lot of friends over, if you know what I mean. Ladies, maybe bros as well. Honestly, that mustache says a lot. And he just seems kind of miserable around Bella. Like, he doesn't seem excited to see her. She's just gonna be a big wrench in all of his plans, a big burden on his life. So I feel kind of bad for Bella in this situation, but at the same time, like, she could have gone on the road with her mom. She could have joined the band. Pick up a guitar, Bella. You know, it's not that hard. He says to Bella, oh, did you cut your hair? And she's like, it's grown out since I last saw you. And it just kind of proves that he literally doesn't even know his own daughter, which is kind of sad. Speaking of serious things, this whole time Bella's holding a little cactus, like in the car. She's just holding it like this. I'm guessing that her mother gave it to her so that she wouldn't feel so sad about being abandoned by her. She was like, you don't need the love of a mother. You just need a cactus as a pet. So she gets to Charlie's house and he shows her to her living quarters. It's her old room, but there's a new bedspread. And he's like, the sales lady picked out the bedspread for you. Now, enter Jacob. Okay, so Jacob was Bella's friend from back in the day. He's gonna be a big part of these movies in case you haven't seen them. He's like a really big character, okay? He shows up and he's like, hey, loca, where you been? And he's wearing the most high-end lace front wig you've ever seen. It's styled perfectly. Her and Jake talk about how, you know, when they were kids, they would make little mud pies together. And it's a very sweet, endearing scene. It really humanizes Bella because up until this point, she has seemed like just a wall, an emotionless, dry wall. Jacob's definitely much more emotive and he's just a much warmer person, literally. He's so warm. So that's just kind of planting the Jacob seed in this story. Just a little cameo from Jacob. He's not in this movie a lot, by the way. The next movie, though, he gets to shine and also transform. Oh, the spoilers. Oh my gosh, I can't help myself. It turns out that Jacob and his grandfather are at Charlie's house because they are dropping off a really crusty old truck that Charlie bought for Bella. Okay, this is the first sign that maybe he cares about her like a tiny bit. And it's also the first time that we see Bella showing a positive emotion. She's like, are you for real? What? You crazy? Wait, that was not. I'm usually really good at my Bella impersonation. That was not it. That was like a surfer, bro. Wait. Is she now British? But she's so grateful for the truck. I don't think she ever actually says thank you, but her emotion is enough for Charlie to feel appreciated. So that's good. Regina seems a little antsy. I think it's because she doesn't have her favorite blanket. This is her favorite blanket. I actually put it into the closet, my old room, because it's kind of crusty and old and it has some stains on it. It's kind of nasty, but it's her favorite blanket. Here, Regina, let's see if you like that. You like that? If she doesn't, I'll just let her out because she seems like she is not entertained by me. That's not a good sign for this channel. Oh no. Anyways, careful, don't fall. She's about to fall, girl. Things are about to get exciting. So Bella goes to school. It's her first day at the Forks, Washington school, and she drives her ancient automobile to the school. It's the middle of the semester, so she's already like defeated. She's like, I'm not gonna make any friends. No one's gonna care that I'm here. But all of a sudden, the moment that she gets there, people treat her like she's Lady Gaga. Like she just performed at the halftime show and did a little salsa, you know? There's this guy, Eric, that immediately comes up to her. And to me, he seems a little, you know, a little, which I can relate to, but apparently the character is not like that, okay? So that's a little confusing. I think that's like a writing issue, but he goes up to Bella and he's like, Bella, you're the new girl at school, wow. And he's like, I'm gonna put you in the school paper. And she's like, don't, please. And he's like, okay, Bella, chill. We don't have to put you in the paper. And it's overall very icky, very cringe. She's already acting like they're best friends. And I don't like that. There's a difference between being nice to a stranger and acting like your besties. It's just a lot. Then it shows Bella playing volleyball and she literally slaps the ball instead of like throwing it, which I thought was innovative and a bit different because that's what I would do. I would also probably pinch it and flick it because I don't know how to punch. Then she meets 3 more classmates. She meets this guy that like really likes her and he's also very cringe, but I don't think that he's I think he's And she also meets Anna Kendrick and the girl that played Selena in the Netflix show. And they're also so icky. They're also way too nice to her and they're treating her like she is literally a celebrity. And I hate that so much. I'm the celebrity. Then they all have lunch in the cafeteria. And that's when the Cullens walk in. It's the first time we see Edward and his siblings. Now, the icky people fill her in on the tea. And the tea is that all of these step siblings are together and they are vying for their own TLC show, which I'm sure TLC would live for that, sweetheart. They would gag the house down. We see Rosalie and Emmett. They're 2 of the siblings. Rosalie is sort of like the Regina George of the vampire world. She will call you fugly to your face and then bite. It's crazy. And then Emmett is basically like the alpha of the family. He's got the muscles, he's got the protein. And then we see Alice and Jasper. Now, Alice is the quirky sister and she likes to make it known that she is strange. She embraces it. So she twirls through the cafeteria like a ballerina. It's very impressive. And then Jasper is her man and also her brother husband. And he looks like he just took a diarrhea. That's how he looks the whole movie. You'll find out why later on. And then Edward walks in and he looks so angsty. Bella is instantly captivated. She's like, that's my man. She just needs to know him. And I don't blame her. He's very mysterious. Later, Bella arrives to her first class and I think it's scientist stuff or chemistry or something. I didn't go to school. I don't know the classes. I was homeschooled. So all I know is DVD class. But basically she walks in and she sees Edward sitting at the table with a telescope? Is that what's called, a telescope? I think so. She sees him and there's a fan behind her. It blows through her hair and immediately Edward smells her. I've never seen anyone look so repulsed in my life. Not even Rita Repulsa from Power Rangers. And she is literally named Repulsed. I don't want to know what she smelled like, to be honest. I don't know if she's one of those girls that does not wear deodorant because she doesn't believe in the aluminum foil in it. That's a possibility. Or maybe she just has a natural must. Who knows? But he literally could not stand to be around her odor. So she sits down and he's looking at her like, girl, you smell, girl, you stink. So the class goes on, some angsty music plays, And the moment that the bell rings, Edward gets up and leaves. After class, she sees him talking to like one of the school manager people, and he's trying to switch classes. That's how bad it was. And then he throws a bar of Old Spice at her. I'm just kidding. That was a deleted scene, but they should have kept it in. But yeah, so Bella's very offended by that, and I don't blame her. Then later that day, Bella and her dad are having dinner at a diner, and Bella gets a burger and fries. You know, she's an old school kind of girly. And like any normal person, Bella wants ketchup with her fries. I think that's a very reasonable desire. So she picks up the ketchup bottle, and it's like one of those old school ketchup bottles that's like just red and it looks kind of delicious. Like I want to eat the bottle itself, you know what I mean? And she starts to shake it, but I don't know if she's ever poured ketchup out of a bottle in her life, because she doesn't just like, you know, like push it out and then squeezes it and it goes out. Instead, she just starts doing this. She goes, almost like a little dance. She's like, oh, she's at the club, you know, trying to pour ketchup. And she doesn't even ask her dad for help. I wish she would, because this is painful to watch. But it just kind of adds to the whole Oscar campaign, you know? It's these little quirks that make the movie stand out among others. Later that night, Bella's mom calls her, and the mom's now in an auto shop. So maybe their tour bus broke down. I don't know, but she's like on a payphone and she's like, oh, Bella, have you met any boys? And Bella's like, the next day, Bella notices that Edward has stopped coming to school. And she's very confused because she started using soap for the first time. So she's like, what's going on now? It must have not been the smell. So he's gone for a while. Sorry, guys, I just got up to piss in case if the camera moved. And also Regina got up. Did you take a piss as well, love? Like mother, like daughter. Anyways, so where were we? Oh, yes. So Eric, the guy that's, he tries to ask Bella out to the prom. And it's a really pathetic scene. I've been there, girl. Listen, back in the day at church, there was this girl that I didn't actually like, but I told myself that I liked her so I could fit in with my friends because they all had girlfriends. I can't. It makes me cringe so bad. I never asked her out, thankfully, because she would have been like, girl, are you for real? Girl, stop. Let's go shopping. You know, that's what she would have said. And so, of course, Bella's like, ugh, and she does not say yes. But then, guess who shows up? Edward. He's back in class. He was letting the bacteria in his nose heal this whole time because it was destroyed by Bella's scent. They're sitting in class and he starts talking to her. He starts talking to her, which is kind of crazy. And he literally says, hello. And it's very Pennywise coded, you know? He's like, I'm Edward Cullen. Wait, what else does he say? Oh, I didn't write down what he said, but he just looked uncomfortable, but like he was really trying to talk to her. He was trying to go the extra mile to make a friend, you know? Bella asks him, where'd you go? You've been gone. And he says that he's been out of town. Okay, Mr. Vague. They chat for a bit and things get a little less awkward, but Bella notices that his eyes are not just a normal standard human being color. They are more so like a yellow piss type of color, which is what I just saw in the toilet just a couple minutes ago. And she's like, your eyes, they're like golden. And he's like, oh, it's just the fluorescence. Girl, you really think she's dumb. Bella might have a blank stare, but that doesn't mean she doesn't have brains. Now, this part's kind of crazy, okay? So Bella is outside standing by her crusty truck. I think she's reading a book and Eric tries to get her attention and she's like, with her book, she's like, hey, I'm reading, it's Little Women, it's a really good book. And right then a car swerves right next to her car and her life flashes before her eyes and all she sees is just cacti. And then all of a sudden the car stops and she opens her eyes and she sees that Edward stopped the car. Somehow in the supernatural realm, he got to her, stopped the car with his bare, sparkly man hand, and she's so confused. She's like, this isn't possible. And of course, he just looks at her like, Tyra for sure taught him how to smize. He watched that new ANTM documentary and was disgusted, but was also practicing his smize. And then he jumps over the car and he leaves before anyone else can see. And so she's the only one that knows that he's this powerful. So she is shook to say the least. She's even more frazzled than her typical baseline trembling. Sorry, okay. Okay, Timmy, be professional. We're telling a story. Where am I? I'm going to say that probably 10,000 times throughout the whole podcast. It's fine. It's authenticity, you know? I'm being real. Oh, yes. Okay, so Bella goes to the hospital and her doctor is a zaddy man and he is like, hello, I'm Carlisle. All the vampires talk like this, like a little bit British, but just a little. And they got like one baked bean stuck in their tooth. And he looks like Edward's age, to be honest, which is kind of weird. But once again, he's the stepfather. Carlisle Cullen, CC, sounds like an email. And he's actually really nice in like a very normal way. He's not icky like everyone else. So that is refreshing. Anyways, Bella's fine. She gets checked out. Everything's good, thankfully, even though Charlie was probably a little bit disappointed in that. Oh my God, that's horrible. Why would I say that? And then Bella talks to Edward and she questions him. She's like, how'd you do that? Superhuman? You have powers? And he literally gaslights her. He says that it was adrenaline. It was an adrenaline rush. And that's how he got to her so fast and stopped a whole moving car. And once again, he's underestimating our Bella. I hate that. Bella starts having dreams about him, which is kind of weird. It's where he's watching her and they all feel very dark-sided. So I think this guy is bad news, but she is still interested. I think everyone has to go through their little bad boy phase. So I get it, but girl, a monster? Really? That's taking it to the next level. Later, Bella and Edward are on some sort of a field trip to like a greenhouse or something. Like, why couldn't they just go to the zoo like everyone else? That's so much more fun. She's still questioning him and then she trips on something and he gets really mad at her. He's like, can you at least watch where you're going? Once again, another red flag. The next day, Bella is talking to her icky human friends and Eric is like, we're going to the beach. It's called La Push. And he says the beach's name probably like 10 times in the scene. He's like, it's La Push, baby. La Push. And I was like, okay, no one's ever heard of that. Why should we care about La Push? It's water and sand. And he asks Bella if she wants to go because they're gonna like whale watch or something. And that's where I make my cameo. And she says yes, but before they go to the beach, Bella talks to Edward some more. She is still questioning him more and more. And at this point, he's just kind of fed up and he's like, just guess what I am. And she's like, I've thought of radioactive spiders and kryptonite and E.T. Are you E.T.? And he's like, Bella, that's all superhero stuff. What if I'm the villain? Am I the villain? And that's yet another red flag. Bella doesn't care and she invites Edward to the La Push beach. It's La Push, baby. And he's like, I can't go for some weird reason. So keep that in mind. That's a plot point coming up. Spoiler. So Bella's at the beach with the friends. And of course it's Forks, Washington. So it's raining at the beach. They're all in these huge blankets. It does not seem like a fun time, but Jacob does show up and he lets Bella know that this beach is on his reservation. Edward comes up in the conversation and Jacob's friend says, the Cullens don't come here. Period. Now this part I'm just gonna read because this is a lot of like exposition and I don't want you to get lost. Okay, so Bella asks Jacob what he meant by that in private, and Jacob says it's all just a legend, but the people on the reservation are descended from wolves. I had no clue. And the Cullens are apparently descended from their enemy, the wolves' enemy. Oh my goodness. There's a whole flashback with the strongest sepia filter I've ever seen. I wrote that down. It was very beige. I felt like I was watching Dune, but like just the sand. Jacob's ancestors made a treaty with Edward's ancestors where basically if they stay off their land, they won't expose what they are to the basic icky humans. When Bella asks Jacob what Edward is, he says, it's just a story. Stop being loca, Bella. He really thinks she's just gonna fall for that. Currently, Bella is the queen of questions. So she's gonna go on Google and do the research herself. And that's what she does. She finds this book online that might answer some of her questions. So she plans to get it at a bookstore later on. Listen, girl, if you're trying to figure out what kind of monster your boyfriend is, Barnes & Noble's has got your back. I love that store. It's so relaxing, isn't it? Oh, and I don't even read, but I just love it. I love the smell of the paper. I think I would rather eat the books than read them, to be honest. She then sees Anna Kendrick at school and she's sunbathing because it's a sunny day. And Anna Kendrick tells Bella, she's like, when it's sunny out, the Cullens disappear. And then she takes a cup out and she starts singing the cup song from Pitch Perfect. I'm just kidding. That's just another deleted scene. Bella ends up going dress shopping with Anna Kendrick and the Selena Netflix girl because prom is coming up. But of course, Bella's not like other girls. So she gets bored and she's like, I gotta go. There's a bookstore. And she goes to the bookstore to find the book that's gonna tell her more about Edward. So she leaves, and by this time it's nighttime, and she's walking out of the bookstore, like back home or something, and these really nasty, creepy men kind of like follow her and then surround her, and it's a very scary situation, genuinely. And then guess what happens? Zaddy Edward shows up in his little Prius or whatever kind of car it is. It's very eco-friendly, that's for sure. And he literally swerves in, gets out of the car, looks at them like this, scares them with his smize, and then him and Bella get in the car and they drive away. Now Edward's very mad about this. I don't blame him. That's a terrifying situation, but he's driving like a crazy person. So I'm like, you saved her and now you're putting her life in danger. You're a madman, you know? And then Edward insinuates that he can read minds. He's like, they were thinking terrible things, all this stuff. And then Bella's like, mind reader? Fortune teller? And she's shocked that he can read minds. So they end up going to get a bite to eat. Bella orders a mushroom ravioli or something like that. Something with mushrooms. No wonder why she stinks. She's chewing on fungi. So they talk during dinner and Bella is just breathing her food onto his face. She asks him if he was following her and he confirms he was. But it's in a nice way, you know? He says that he's protective over her. Yes, it's still weird, but you know, at least it's with a good motive, I guess. No, it's just weird. Let's just be honest. Like, that's a lot, Robin. It's just too much. And then Bella basically asks him more about his mind reading powers. And he basically tells her that he can read everyone's minds besides hers, which is crazy. She must have a thick layer of dandruff or something blocking out the mind reading rays because it just doesn't make sense. But it's, you know, a plot point in the future movies as well. So stay tuned. Okay. I love teasing. Later, they are driving home and they accidentally touch hands and Bella literally gasps because his hand is so ice cold. It feels like a Stanley, but like the inside of a Stanley when it's full of ice. And she's like, "Blah! Your hand, it's freezing." Oh my God, I'm filming a podcast here. That guy didn't get the memo that I sent out to the world. Anyways, later, Bella and Edward find out that Bella's dad's friend has now moved on to the next realm, okay? It turns out that something, you know, caused that, some sort of a person, but Bella knows better. She's been doing a lot of Googling like we talked about, and she knows that something is going on with Edward, with this town, and she knows something else did this. Bella gets home and she does even more research. And this time there's a full montage and she figures out that Edward is... I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it until Bella says it out loud because I want this little podcast to have impact in the same way that the movie does, okay? So just look forward to me saying it. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a crazy moment. The next day she sees Edward at school. The whole scene is very quiet. It's slow motion vibes, you know? They both slowly walk into the forest so they can speak privately among the squirrels. The squirrels are gonna get all the tea. Bella just starts talking with Edward behind her and she's like, "You're impossibly fast. Strong." What else does she say? I forget. Oh yes. "Your eyes are piss yellow." And then she says, "I know what you are," basically. And Edward says, "Say it. Say it. Out loud, Bella. Say it, please." And then Bella's like, "Vampire." Oh, I ate that. I ate that. And then he tries to like scare her for some reason. He starts screaming and he's like, "As if you could outrun me." And then he starts running and the running effects look crazy. He's like doing this. But there's also like a echo to his movements and it looks ridiculous, but I love it so much. And then he rips a branch, like a root or something out of the side of a mountain and he throws it. And she's like, "I'm not scared of you. You're not gonna hurt me." And then he grabs Bella, he puts her on his back, and he starts running around so fast. And she's like, "I feel like I'm on test track at Epcot. This is exhilarating." They run all the way up the mountain, probably tripping on mountain lions all the way up. And they go to the one spot of the mountain that has a ray of sun beaming through the clouds. And Edward shows her that his skin sparkles. His skin looks like he just went to Jared, but instead of selling rings, they're selling a new highlighter. Did he go to K Jewelers? No, mama, he's just a sparkling monster. And then they lay in a field of grass and flowers, and the ticks are definitely feasting at that moment. They're like, oh my gosh, finally someone's laying down. This is a buffet. And a voiceover starts playing. It's Bella, and she confesses that she already loves him. And I think that's sweet. I do. I'm trying not to be judgmental, but this does feel like 90 Day Fiancé. And of course, there's music playing in the background. And I've noticed this whole movie soundtrack has the same style of singing. A lot of people call it cursive singing, when a singer is like, ar, 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 ar. Can we enunciate? Then Edward and Bella show up at school together for the first time. This is their big debut. It's their like red carpet couple moment. It's their Britney and Justin Timberlake denim outfit situation type moment. And for the first time in the whole movie, Edward smiles. He's so proud to be with Bella. He's like, we're just breaking all the rules, aren't we? And she's like, yeah, sure, I guess. This is another exposition heavy part, so I'm just gonna read it once again. Later in the day, Bella asks Edward how he became a vampire, and if someone needs to be close to ending up like Beth from Little Women to actually turn into a vampire. And he tells her that you don't, but that is how he became one. The Cullens stepzaddy Carlisle has been a doctor and vampire since like 1802. And he turned Edward when he was close to ending up like Beth from Little Women. There's a little flashback, and Edward has a fever as well from Spanish influenza. Ay, papi, okay, café con leche. Edward explains that once a vampire starts, gnawing, it's very hard for them to stop. But when Carlisle changed him, he was able to stop because Carlisle's just a very perfect man. He then tells Bella that him and his family only eat animals, so they're basically vegans. I feel like I'm spitting a lot, and I'm hoping it's not visible. I just don't usually talk this much, I feel, and there's just a lot of spit happening. Anyways, the exposition continues. Edward tells Bella that other vampires were the culprits behind what happened to Charlie's friend, Bella's dad's bro. They were very close, let's just say that. These vampires are not vegan, obviously. They love them a baconator. I wrote that. Wendy is shaking with fear. Bella then asks if his sister-wife siblings can also read minds, and he says no, but his sister Alice has her own quirky gift. She can see the future. Oh, Raven Simone, but make it vampire. I love it. And Bella literally says, I bet she saw me coming. Girl, that's crazy. Your ego is huge. It's not all about you. Bella, loca Bella. Edward then declares that Bella is gonna meet his family tomorrow. He doesn't ask her. He's like, we're going, girl. The next day, Bella and Edward get to his family's house, and it's a mansion. Like, it's huge, and it's in the forest. It's made of tons of glass. I mean, every house is, but it's like mostly glass. And it looks like a construction masterpiece. I mean, the dad is a doctor. I know that's a great salary, but this is like a Kardashian level house. I'm surprised all the vampires don't have BBLs. And Bella's like, they walk into the kitchen. The whole family is making dinner for Bella. And it's only for Bella because they don't eat. But they're making like a bolognese sauce, and I guess they think that Bella's Italian because of her name, but I don't even know if she is. She could be half Cuban like me. Who knows? She's like, hola, ¿cómo estás? When they walk in, the mom is like, buongiorno, Bella. And Bella's like, prosciutto. And once again, they're all kind of icky sweet to Bella. Once again, it's a whole theme in this movie. I don't like it. Do I think it should disqualify it from getting an Oscar? Of course not. But I do think it's a problem. The only person that is not super icky sweet to Bella is Rosalie. Like I said, she's the Regina George of the vampire world. And she's the only real person in that mansion, let me tell you. Esme, the mamacita, basically is like, I hope you're hungry, Bella. And Edward's like, she already ate. And Rosalie hears that. She's holding a glass bowl of Caesar salad, and she literally crushes it with her bare monster hands, okay? And she gets so mad because she worked so hard on that Caesar dressing. She used real egg yolks, you know what I mean? But she's not just mad about that. She's like, this is dangerous, okay? A human knowing about us is not a good thing. We're gonna get caught. Now, we don't really know who's above them until the next movie. That's another plot point, a little twist in the movie. And it's very exciting, but we'll talk about that that next episode or something. Then of course, Miss Quirky Alice walks into the house literally on a tree branch, and she's with Jasper, her man, her brother. Jasper, of course, looks very weird, very uncomfortable. And it turns out Jasper is the newest vampire. And when you're a new vampire, you don't have that much self-control. So he sees Bella as the most awkward snack of all time. Then Edward shows Bella his room, and girl, it's a mess. Do not tell me he could not have cleaned it up. He can literally run almost at the speed of light. Okay, he could have taken literally half a second to clean it up, but he didn't. Another red flag. I would tell Bella to run, but he would catch her. He's much faster. They then listen to some classical music. They dance a little bit. They have a little twerk off. And then all of a sudden, Edward launches both of them out of the window and onto a tree. So she's already been on Edward's back as he ran, but she hasn't been on his back while he climbed a tree. And so he's like, hold on tight, spider monkey. Oh, look at my shirt. That's exactly what that says. That is one of the most iconic lines in pop culture history. And they start climbing up the tree, kind of like a sloth, but very fast. And they get to the top of the tree and they look at the view, and it's very romantic. There's a big like pan around the tree shot. And I just thought to myself, how loud was the helicopter that the cameraman was on? Did it ruin the romance? Because for me, it would be very distracting. I'm also on a really tall tree, terrified. It's not my idea of a romantic scenario, but I'm happy for this couple. Later in the day, Bella has dinner with her dad at the same diner where she fought the ketchup bottle. Remember that? Bella's dad orders her a spinach salad. And you can tell she gets kind of defensive. She gets her wall up and she's like, okay. And he gets himself a steak. Like, what? So Bella literally says to him, she's like, maybe you should have gotten yourself the spinach salad. Cut back on the steak, Dad. There's a lot of anger in this relationship. Later that night, Bella is talking to her mom on the phone once again, but this time the mom is not at an auto shop. She's at a baseball practicing place, like a baseball cage, whatever it's called. So I'm like, what is this diva up to? She's playing shows, she's fixing cars, and now she's a baseball extraordinaire? Is she just working odd jobs? Like, what's going on? The mom is a big mystery in this movie, to be honest. That never gets answered. Then all of a sudden, Edward shows up in Bella's room, just in the flash of an eye, you know, or is that the saying? In the flash of an eye? An apple for the eye? No, an apple of my eye? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Who knows? But he shows up and it's really weird, but Bella likes it. And then Bella and Edward start, you know, a little kissing moment, but Edward's self-control is still really bad, even after 200 years of life. And that puts Bella in danger, right? So he literally throws himself back and you hear a voiceover saying, stop, stop. And it's Edward. He's like telling himself stop. And it works because he's literally like stuck to the wall like a poster. She's like, stay with me. And he stays there and she sleeps and he just lays there like this. Because like Dracula, vampires don't sleep, right? Now, this is like getting towards the end of the movie where all the action starts, okay? Bella and Edward decide to live a life of wellness and health, and they go play baseball with the Cullen families. They put on their Skechers, they get ready to go. Edward meets Charlie very briefly. It's completely awkward, and Charlie's mustache is just staring at Edward, and they don't know what to talk about. Now, this baseball scene, I have to get a little active for this too. It is truly iconic. It taught a whole generation about sports and teamwork and also how to be sickening and fierce while playing them. This is vampire baseball. So it has different rules. They have to play it. Oh, Taco Bell. I had Taco Bell for dinner. It tastes very good. I'm enjoying it. Vampire baseball can only be played during a thunderstorm because they're so strong that when they hit the baseball with the bat, it makes a thunder crack. Somehow the bat doesn't break though, even though it's just wood. You'd think it would burst into 1,000 splinters, but it doesn't. So there's a storm happening. There's some emo music playing and they're all running in their VFX style and it looks terrible, but it's so good. And when Alice pitches the ball, she goes like this, she goes. She like kicks her leg. She makes it look so much cooler, but I tried. Try my best. That's all I can do, right? Don't look at me that way. Go back to bed. But sadly, the game is short-lived because the villains show up. The non-vegan vampires. The vampires that think Beyond Meat tastes like dog food, which I agree with them. There's 3 villains in this movie. James is the main villain. He has the most evil little man ponytail. And then Victoria is his wife or step-grandmother, who knows at this point, but she will be very important in the sequels, you'll see. And also his best friend, Laurent, is a French vampire from France. And he's just a bit classier than the rest. And these bad vampires don't just walk into the scene. They literally glide. Like they're walking, but they're on some sort of a platform that's sliding. So it looks like they're gliding, but it's actually just some production assistants dragging the floor that they're on, sweating. The Cullens try to hide that Bella is a human. They're like, put on this hat, and it's like a baseball cap. And that's her disguise. Because nothing screams vampire like a baseball cap. You know what I mean? Anyways, it's pointless because they smell that Bella is a human being almost instantly. And so of course the Cullens go on defense and they start hissing like that one dinosaur in Jurassic Park, the one that goes like this. So this is where the movie gets really intense. James and the bad vampires leave, but Edward knows that they're hungry for Bella now and they are not gonna stop. They're gonna get what they want. James, sweetie, I get it. I really do. When I'm craving a Nacho Bell Grande from Taco Bell, nothing is gonna stop me from getting what I want. So if I was a vampire, I think I'd be just like James. Oh my God, I almost choked. So he rushes Bella back to her car, and he's trying to put the seatbelt on her, and he's all stressed out, and she's like, I've got it, stop it, I've got it. So while they're driving, Edward like explains to Bella that they're not gonna stop. And so they have to act first, and they have to, you know, send James to the realm where Beth from Little Women exists before he can send Bella to that realm. Do you get me? This is another scene that's hard to explain, so let me just read it. Edward tells Bella that they need to bring her somewhere safe, but her zaddy Charlie needs some sort of explanation, so they go to her house. They have a pretend fight, and Bella's like, Edward, we're done. So that gives Bella an excuse to leave because she's like, Edward's not my man anymore. I'm done in Forks. Charlie tries to convince her to stay, and she says some very hurtful things just to make him let her go. She's like, I don't like watching what you watch on TV. I don't like eating your steak and cobbler. Like, that's so mean. That's crazy to say. But this is the worst part. She says, if I don't leave now, I'm gonna be stuck here just like Mom. Wow, I think she's been waiting to say that one, to be honest. It's brutal, but she starts driving away, and then Edward lands on her car, kind of like a pigeon. He's like, ooh, ooh. And then he gets in the car and he starts driving. They go back to the Forest Mansion, and they see that one of the bad vampires is there, Laurent, the French one. He's holding a baguette, and he's and he's like warning them about James, just like saying that James won't stop until he gets Bella. So he's basically switching sides. For now, you haven't seen the next movie yet. I haven't told you it yet, so wait around for that. But for now, he's good. They decide to drive Bella south. She's gonna become a Southern belle, to keep her safe, you know, and the whole family's helping, even Rosalie. She's eating the Caesar salad pieces off of the floor, and she's like, what can I do to help other than cleaning my Caesar salad mess? Alice and Jasper bring Bella to a hotel, and I couldn't tell which hotel it was, but it did have a big H on it, so I'm thinking either it's Hell itself or it's the Hilton, because Paris was in the background saying, that's cold, about Edward's skin. And then Alice gets a vision, and she starts drawing it out. She's like, and it's a room full of mirrors. And Bella's like, that's my old ballet studio. So Bella starts doing pliés in the middle of the room. And Alice basically says that's where James is. And I may need a Pepsid. We'll see. Anyways, that's where James is headed. He's headed to Bella's ballet studio. So Bella gets a call from her mom, and the mom's like, Bella, help, help. And Bella gets worried, and then James comes on the line, and he's like, I've got your mother, Bella. You have to come to the ballet studio right now. And so Bella sneaks away, and she's so selfless. She goes to save her mother, even though her mother would not do the same for her. But the truth is, James did not take her mother. It's a trap. It's a lie. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself. My goodness. She arrives and it turns out, yes, James lied. He's playing a home video of Bella's mom. For some reason, she sounds scared in the video. It's just very convenient, isn't it? So Bella is there for no reason. She's literally just a Nacho Belle Grande at this point. She's a Nacho Bella Grande. Sadly, James captures her. He mentions Edward and she's like, Edward has nothing to do with this. And Bella starts getting flung around the ballet studio like she's performing Swan Lake, but only in the air. Airplane mode, girl. And then thankfully, Edward shows up. He shows up and he saves her. And they're flying around the ballet studio. There's mirrors just getting crushed everywhere. So much bad luck is happening. And luckily, Edward is able to send James to the Bethlehem Little Women realm. He's gone for good. But he did, take a little nibble. And Bella is on the floor. She is starting to transform. And it looks very painful. She's literally laying there. She's like, Carlisle and Jasper show up and Carlisle's like, Edward, treat this like it's a rattlesnake. You got to get the venom out. And so Edward starts suctioning, and guess what? He really struggles to stop. Even though he loves Bella, he's like, this is really tasty. Like, why do I have to stop? And so Carlisle's like, stop it, stop it, stop it. And then the screen fades to black and we don't know if he stopped. But then a second later, we do know that he stopped because Bella is in the hospital and her mom is there, surprisingly. She's never been there for her until this moment. Better late than never. But she basically tells Bella, you fell down a flight of stairs, girl. And that doesn't explain the bite, but we all believe it anyways. And then the mom is like, we're gonna move back to Florida. Okay, we're going to Jacksonville. And Bella's like, Florida? Ew. And the mom's like, okay, girl, chill. You don't have to go to Florida. And then Edward shows up and he tells her he thinks she should move to Florida because this is all too dangerous for her. And she once again freaks out and is like, oh! And then Edward says, girl, chill. Listen to your mother. And this is the end of the movie. Oh my gosh, we did the whole movie, guys. What a monumental moment for me and you. If you watch this whole thing, girl, what is wrong with you? Stop it! Some time passes and Edward and Bella are going to prom. Bella has a boot on her leg. I'm surprised she's not in a full body cast after that ballet lesson. She sees Jacob at the prom. His wig looks a little more styled than usual. He got a little pop of blue in his hair for the Teen Vogue party, And he basically privately tells Bella that his grandfather thinks that she should break up with Edward. Okay, nosy. That's a crazy thing to say to a girl. Like, she doesn't even go here. Like, you don't even know her. You know what I mean? But if you watch the next movie, you will understand more why he's saying that. It does make a little bit of sense. Anyways, Edward and Bella are dancing at prom. Her boot is hitting the ground and it's making a very loud, annoying noise that is bothering everyone around them. And she says something crazy. She asks Edward to change her into a vampire right then and there in front of everybody. And he does the responsible thing and he says, Diva, not here. And then the movie ends. And that's it. Oh, wait. There's a little tease at the end. You see Victoria, the bad vampire lady. She is watching them dance and she turns around. She looks evil. She takes her hair out of a bun and she goes like this. And then the movie ends and you're like, okay, so she's going to come for Bella or she's the new face of Garnier Fructis or maybe both. And that is it. The movie's over. You just watched a movie through me. How was it? Wonderful? Life-changing? I would hope so. If you watched this whole thing, you are that girl. Let me know in the comments below if you did. Guys, subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed it. This is my brand new channel, so any support, even just watching it, means the world to me. So thank you so much. What else do I say? Regina, what do I say? Oh, yes, that's why Twilight deserves an Oscar. And I'll stand by that. I love you so much. I'll see you guys on one of my channels very soon. Bye, girlies.